Hi everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and welcome to another month of FEH Freebies. Today we are starting off October with the Performing Arts Rerun banner, and I already have all of these but Olivia, so we're going to try and snipe her, but not too invested, just want another dancer. Well, Azura and Inigo or Shigure, don't really have a huge preference on them. I guess I use my Azura slightly more, so a merge for her would be slightly better. But I'm not super invested in any of these, really. Yeah, Ross, that's fine. Didn't care that much. But even though I have finally at long last completed the legendary Byleth summons, still want to save up, build the orbs in case other cool things show up. There are a lot of units on like weekly revival pools and 4-star specials and seasonal demotes that would be cool to have, also good fodder floating around, so just want to get back to a comfortable number of orbs. For weekly revivals 38 and 21, nothing that I desperately need. In fact, I have all of these. But on this one, I think I'm going to go for Shiro just because I like him. And on this one, I'm going to go Quan just because extra rally fodder isn't bad to have. So blue on both. So red, and then we're going to try for blue on the other one, as I was saying. Now, Owain still wouldn't be bad because he has the blue flame, but instead we got Sophia, who is bad. She has nothing, sadly. No use for me, sadly. On this one, we will try for Shiro. Honestly, I'd still rather have an Azura merge. Please give me an Azura, or an Ninian, or a Nils. I'd really like a Nils. I really like Nils. No, Taya doesn't have anything. Taya has nothing, thank you. Blah. Alrighty, we have heroes with solo skills featuring Good Boy Korin and also Grandma Nime and also Rennick. Pretty cool characters, but I have all of them. Probably just going to go for a Korin merge. He's also got the best fodder here, in my opinion. Attack Res Menace isn't bad, but I don't have anyone who needs it, so... Nime is probably our second pick. Although Rennick's attack speed solo is a little more universal, I feel. So that wouldn't be bad either. But we got a blue, so that's fine. No need to worry. No need to fret over what we are going to get. It'll probably just be Donal. Nope, an Oboro. Almost. They're both infantry lances that are Gen 1 and don't have a lot of use for me, so it checks out. Checks out. Guys, I won. I don't remember where I mentioned it. It was either in, like, I think the Legendary banner or the free summons for last month, but I mentioned that I really wanted Halloween Nils, but I specifically wanted him to be the Tempest trial unit. And what do you know? I won. He is here. We also have gorgeous art for both the Korins as Halloween units. They all look great. With that said, I'm not even sure if I'm going to pull for Korin, because even though I love him, I frankly do not use my other infantry dragon Korins. So I don't know if I'll pull him, because he'll probably end up collecting dust just because I barely use dragon units. But we got the free Nils, and I'm very excited to build him. And we're going to try and get an extra copy of his regular form here. But I'm just going to come out and say it right here. His Grail version is absolutely a +10 project. He's going to be the first +10 dancer, it looks like. He is my favorite character from Blazing Blade, and I'm very excited that we're getting him for free. So let's go ahead and grab that. The only thing really disappointing about him is he does not come with a supportive breath, and there aren't any supportive breaths that are inheritable, unless I'm forgetting one random one, but to my knowledge, there aren't any inheritable supporting breaths. Oh! Sure. Well, I got a 5-star blue dragon, just not the one I was hoping for. That's kind of cursed. She has plus speed, which I'm assuming is pretty good for her. I did actually briefly consider building female Korin, but I guess if I want to, I now have a good starting off point. But yeah, basically, Wish Nils had a supportive breath option, but that's about the only thing really bad. His kit is not anything special, but, you know, easy to swap out. Lots of easy options I can give him instead. So anyway, look forward to that. Very excited. Next up is the new power banner. I like how we've got Beasts and Dragons and Lynn. Oh my. She's looking a little out of place there, but for good reason. She's got the best refine of the bunch, I would say. So she will be our target as backup. What else did you guys have? Special Fighter, I've got copies of that. Speed Def Solo, not the best solo skill. Probably just want Yarn as backup for attack speed solo chain inheritance. So yeah, gonna try for a blue, but there was none, sadly. So we'll just take this green, try and get that solo fodder. What have we got? No, just Python. Python, you're not going extinct, but sometimes I wish you would. Please stop showing up in my summons. Nah, it's okay. Python's not the worst unit. He's got like Moonbow, I think, so he's still at least somewhat useful. Alrighty, we have Hall of Forms Revivals Focus and Weekly Revival 59 and 22, so 3 banners here. Nothing that I'm particularly desperate for, but not bad stuff. On this one, I'm thinking of going for Kyria, just to have LOL attack res fodder in the future. And then on this one, I want Lorem since I don't have her, but Percival and Igreen are both great pickups as well. They have good fodder. And then on this one, I wouldn't mind getting Ninian merges, but my orbs just won't allow it right now, so gonna hold off on that. And also, I think I'd still prefer Azura as a blue dancer to +10. And she would play a bit more different from Nils, so leaning more towards Azura, but Ninian would still be great. So this one will go red, then colorless, and then blue. Alright, so got a red, pull this, see what we got. Give us something cool. Oh, it's not Kyria, but it is a Zelgius. I think that's my 3rd or 4th copy of him. Could very slowly work up towards the +10. It'll be a race between him and Ike, though. Brave Ike has a bit of a head start, but it's fitting that they are both rivaling as some of my more commonly pulled 4-star special units. Also, on my Halloween summon, I dressed up in my cat outfit. But I just realized that now that I've got the Byleth hoodie, I could do a very low-budget Byleth cosplay, I guess. Anyway, come on, Lorem. Always nice to have more dancers. Nope, just a Kaze. Kaze, I love you, but I don't particularly need copies of you at the moment. I've still got a lot, even after +10ing him. And then on this one, we will hope for a blue. Perfect. Just the one. What do we got? Nothing. Yep, that's nothing, alright. Karine, what do you have again? I don't remember. Attack def form and then 5-star drive attack, right. Right, her lance is a attack def drive, which is like an already worse version of Spear of Assault. Attack speed is generally more helpful, but whatevs. So today we have the shared bounty banner featuring our dear professor, but he is just the cheerleader for Sothis. And then we also have Lady Rhea, Robin, and our actual target, despite being surrounded by characters I care infinitely more for, we have Spooky Singcho. Kurthnaga is the unit that we need. Fortunately, he's only a 4-star special, so shouldn't be that difficult to get him in theory, though we have had some difficulty in the past with some 4-star specials. Claude. But I need to get even Pulse Tie for my Halloween nils, so we're going to try and snag that. As for our backup colors, really any of the three would be great. I think I'm leaning towards Grima just because having another near save tank would be pretty good. And although I really want more Byleths, I don't use my Halloween Sothis that often, so I'd probably still go Rhea as well over her for having just a new unit. But really any of the three, I think red, colorless, green, blue will be our order. So let's just try and get that pulse tie fodder, and hopefully it won't take that long. If we get it very quick, this may end up in the free summons video, but yeah, I just need to get, oh, what do you know, free summon exactly, well, hey guys, how was October? Let me know. We got the boy, Krithnaga. He showed up very quickly this time. I remember I went for him earlier when I needed it for my Reeve pulse tie, and I got that. And it actually took a while. It took like 120-ish orbs or something like that. It was around 100 or so, but more than I wanted to spend. But he made up for it this time. He just popped up very quickly, so we can get that pulse tie fodder for nils. Very happy. And I don't even have to grind as a hero merit. It's already done, so that's wonderful. So free is free, and I'm very happy about that. So now we have the rerun of Dragon's Harvest, and we're going to go for Tiki, since she is a harmonic, though Grima wouldn't be bad either. I've fought more than my fair share of scary Halloween Grimas. And then we've also got Degensia, who I honestly forgot was even in the game until I saw as a free combat manual. Kind of interesting that they're just giving him for free. Well, the manual of him anyway. But he wouldn't be terrible either, but we're just going to pull the one blue, try and keep our orbs up. Oh, sweet, we did get a blue. I was going to say, I hope we even get one. And what have we got? Oh, well, it's not Tiki, but we did get Guinevere, so that's still pretty nifty. She has lull attack res, and attack res push, and joint drive res. So, not terrible. Not the most enticing fodder overall, but can definitely be useful. I could put lull attack res on Reinhardt, though I don't use him as much anymore. I also did consider joint drive res as an option for nils. It wouldn't be like the best option, but it would be funny, especially if you want to play him more as an actual tank. Giving him a little bit of extra res could get him a little extra damage reduction. But again, I don't think it's the best C slot, but it is a not terrible option. He could grab either attack res push to go with it. Actually, yeah, you probably want attack res push, and then the lull is cool, but you'd probably want to run like Dragon Wall or something in the B slot if you were going to go that direction, but probably not honestly worthwhile, but an interesting idea at the very least. So that's a pretty cool free summon. Alright, we have the Treat Fiends rerun banner with a lot of armor units. Remember back when instead of Dragon Halloween, it was mostly Armor Halloween? That was weird. But I think we're just going to go for Hector, just because he's a duo. But honestly, I completely forgot about these odd and even follow-up skills. Those sure were wonky and never had any actual impact on like anything. Like, did anyone actually really want those as their best in slot at any point? I can't think of anyone, but I completely forgot these skills existed. I already don't like even odd skills, but I felt like armors even back then just had better options. So, and now we've got silly things like Hardy Fighter and Savvy Fighter and whatnot. Ileana's Spooky Sensor is funny. Wouldn't mind that, I guess. And then La Rochelle and Dozla both have rallies, and their weapons also have that Fury effect, which isn't bad, but yeah, we're just going to try and pull one red. And by By the time you guys see this, it's definitely already done. Okay, sweet, we do have a red. But I'm over halfway done with editing the Geralt video. I'm sorry that took so long to get out this month. I've just been busy with a lot of other projects, but I hope you guys enjoyed it if you watched it when it comes out. Oh, yo, we actually got the Hector and Babby Lilina. I remember when a lot of people thought more of the characters would have like a parent type character and then like a littler character. But that's nifty, that's cool. If I remember right, his duo skill is actually pretty good. It's like instant bolt tower, right? Yeah, just 20 damage on command. Not bad, actually. Like, genuinely could be good for some maps. The issue is, like, you only get one shot with it. It doesn't replenish like a lot of the newer duo skills. And if the enemy has, like, duo's hindrance, you won't be able to use it. But it's still pretty cool to have, especially as a freebie. That's very nice. Also, he's plus attack minus speed, which is probably ideal. Let me just check your stats real quick. Yeah, whoa, 60 attack. Yeah, 60, he's gonna have over 60 attack just for free, and then his speed, who cares? That's pretty nifty as a free summon. Cannot complain by any means, that's very awesome. Yo, actually, I think I have an extra Valentine's Gustav. Would it be worth to give Hector here AD near save and like bless him for AR offense? Like, that seems actually pretty useful. I don't have a near save for Astra season, so that might be nice. Let me know. For this week's weekly revival, we have 23 featuring Lute, Dorcas, and Mia, and then 39 with Tibarn, Ophelia, and Mikoto. Kinda leaning towards green for Dorcas, and then colorless for Mikoto. Ophelia is probably honestly better, but I don't use my Ophelia at all, so kind of slightly prefer Mikoto. Just a merge for mom would be great. Varian, you're not my mom. You're not my mom. My mom wouldn't be caught dead wearing that silly little cravat. Alright, and on this one we're going to go for Dorcas just because I think he is cool. He is one of the Blazing Blade characters I actually liked. Also Nils, who I get to build soon, and I'm very excited about that. I'm still not over it. And we just got a Baruka. Much less exciting than a Dorcas or a Nils, so that's unfortunate. We have the new Heroes banner for the month, which is Awakening themed in a surprise twist. And we have Rearmed Robin and Ascendant Heir, and they are joined by Gregor and minor NPC lady who I barely remembered existed. Yeah. Like, not only is she like Mustafa, where she jumped ahead the actual playable characters, but she's even less memorable to me, even though she actually appears more than Mustafa. Mustafa was in like an actually like important scene. This lady just, yeah. And of course, she is a Lance Flyer, and she is our demote for the banner because IS and demote Lance Flyers name a more iconic duo. The only thing more iconic is IS and weird red mage grand hero battle units. But yeah, she comes with Pegasus Flight and Brazen Attack Res. Not particularly exciting. I mean, Pegasus Flight was pretty much dead on arrival. And she also has Rain Lance, which is probably the most interesting thing here, but it would actually be kind of interesting on like Ninja Korin if he didn't already have a really good weapon, but I guess it could actually be used if you wanted support utility. And on that note, it'd actually maybe be usable on Azura too. If only we could upgrade the Rain Lance into a Hold Lance and have it affect 3 spaces, then it would actually be really useful. But yeah, the Lance seems like the most useful thing here. But yeah, this random NPC getting in over someone like Laurent is pretty disappointing. However, fortunately for me, In case you haven't noticed, I'm not throwing a fit because Rickon was skipped over, because he's our direct demote! And I'm very excited about that. I can't pull him up here, of course, but he looks very solid, actually. He has, I think, 43 attack and like 39 speed, and he's got super assets in both, so he could get +4 to either one. So I'm very excited about that. He is for sure a future merge project, though he's in a weird position where I wanted him, and now that I have +10 male legendary Byleth as a green mage, who's also infantry, I'm not sure what to do with Rickon, so I'll have to figure that out. But I am very much interested in +10ing him. After all, he was literally one of my picks for Choose Your Legends from the very first one before the game even launched, so I'm very excited about him. But for the other units on the banner, we have Gregor, a very cool character, but not one that I desperately need by any means. He is a sword infantry, but he's got this very fancy Blade of Favors, which was actually kind of annoying in the story map. It has a very wide debuff radius for attack speed and defense, and it also gives him the attack speed defense that he drains, kind of like a triple menace. And then he's also got like a Plagueon type effect, and it reduces damage from foes' first attack. I forgot about that part. And it's got slaying. He made out. He made out with a very good weapon. His other fodder is okay. Infantry null follow-up is good, but I literally forgot that it was in the game. I got it in Hall of Forms the other day, and I was just like, what is this skill? I forgot about it. It turns out it was from the Shadows of Valentia banner that we had a few months ago, and that banner was so memorable to me that, yeah, I completely forgot this skill existed. And then we have Solid Ground 4, which is still water, but for attack defense instead of attack res. But I'd say it's probably even less useful, generally speaking, because there are less units that scale off visible defense than there are ones that scale off visible res. Because, like, for visible res, you've got, like, Morgan with her tome, and then, like, anyone using ploys, things like that. But no one really scales off visible defense off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a few units with a pref that do it, but most def units I can think of just, you know, if they want to bump up their defense, they're fine taking that in combat. So having it visible is just kind of wonky. Then we have Ascendant Heir, who has absolutely gorgeous art. This is very pretty. And she's got the 5-star Cav Flyer special over here with attack speed catch 4. She keeps her sparkling boost, and she has her fancy miracle pref, and she has the new Mystic Boost 4, which is pretty dang bonkers. Attack -5, also disables the calculate damage like other weapons for staves, and the adaptive damage on dragons, just like regular Mystic Boost. And it also prevents the staff effect that prevents counterattacks. So it's got the most relevant part of Null Sea Disrupt built in as well. Like, Null Sea Disrupt also works on like Fire Sweep Bow, Fire Sweep Sword, but the main thing Null Sea Disrupt is usually used for is to counter Dazzling Staff. So it's hilarious that that important part of it is just built into Mystic Boost. And then it also restores 10 HP to the unit after combat instead of, I think, 7. So very big upgrade for a kind of niche B slot. Mystic Boost is great as a seal, but as a B slot I always felt it was kind of niche. But this is awesome. I would love this on, like, I don't know, Robin. Oh, I could actually put it on Picnic Leo, and he could counter staves with his with like Gronraven. Alphonse could even use it too on like Save Tank, Far Save. He would swap out his fighter skill, but he would be able to counter staves too. That's also interesting, and it would stack with his weapon giving him heal, so he'd have even more sustain. I'm not sure if it's worth it, but those are interesting options. But I find it very funny because this is just like a month after they gave Sothis as her remix skill Null Sea Disrupt. Like, they were like, oh yes, this is a premium skill that is worth putting on our mythic hero to try and sell him. And then immediately after, they're like, oh, but by the way, the important part of it is in another better skill now. So that's sad and funny. I'm not sure how Sothis's remix continues to disappoint, but it sure does. And she is green, so she So if we go for her, we could technically get Rickon as well. But then finally, the Ascendant Robin, sadly, after a little break for Valentine's to say, oh yes, we understand that you guys are kind of sick of Robin and Grima being lumped together. We'll give you actual Robin. They're back to trying to sell us overpowered Dragon Robin again. Very unfortunate. She does look very good though. She is the first AS near save unit, which I would actually love to get in case I go for Winter Hilda when she reruns. And she also has Hardy Fighter, and she has her new Arcane Grima, which is a very bonkers pref for dragons. It gives stats, it gives guaranteed follow-up attack, it gives some true damage, and it also restores HP in addition to slaying and the standard adaptive dragon damage. So a lot of good stuff here. I almost want to get it for Halloween Nils too, but I don't think he needs it, honestly. But it would be very funny to give him this fancy new dragon breath. I was hoping that the arcane dragon weapon would have some kind of support utility built into it so that Nils could have it, but alas, I didn't expect it, but I was hoping for it. Anyway, sorry I rambled so long, but we are going to just pull colorless for Robin, try and get her. She seems the most interesting of the batch. Air is our backup for sure, and then Gregor. Don't really have an interest in pulling blue this time. I do really wish that Air and Robin flipped colors so that we'd be pulling green and trying to maybe get a Rickon along the way, but oh well. Speaking of, we didn't even get any free copies of Rickon like we did for some of the other direct emotes, so that's unfortunate. Really wish we'd at least gotten 2 copies of Rickon, but at least now we have a nice goal to work towards. We need 11 copies of him, and I was going to say there's no greens here, and I was going to be upset, but I forgot we're actually going for colorless, even though I'm talking about green. Alright, so we got a Gordy. Not who we're looking for, but yeah, I'm super excited about Rickon. Again, I'm not really sure what to do with him because he kind of overlaps with Byleth. But I have, like, one idea, and it's basically what I was going to do with Byleth. I was going to eventually get Attack Speed Oath and give him that, but he would lose out on the constant specials, which is why I kind of didn't want to do that. But I could do that with Rickon instead and make him like a warping mage, kind of like legendary female Byleth. I'm not sure if that's worth it, but oh, yo, we got air. Sweet. Wait, did I pull green without even Oh, wait. I started talking and I forgot that I'm only doing free summons. Well, I guess I'm doing free summons plus 4 orbs. Oops. Yeah, I was not paying attention, but very cool. We got an Ascendant Flore and we got air. I started talking green and I'm just like, oh yes, I'm pulling all the greens. Yeah, she's got a very interesting weapon and she's very pretty. And minus speed is probably unfortunate. I'm sure that she had like good speed, but whatever. She was very cheap. I need to actually pay attention now so I don't spend more orbs on accident. But yeah, I was thinking of making Rickon like a warping mage. I'd rather pull green still than pull blue because I don't need the demote lady. I do not care for her, so we would rather take a big sis instead. But yeah, I was not intending to spend orbs. I was just autopiloting, and I'm not getting colorless anyway, so I guess it's fine. And I still also think that more air copies for like Mystic Boost fodder would be more valuable than Gregor's as well, so I'm fine pulling green on this again. But please give us a colorless for the last wheel. Oh, I feel silly. I just accidentally pulled the wrong thing. Oops. I'm glad it worked out, though. We got something really nifty. Varian, you're probably the least enticing colorless unit from Awakening. You're about as far away from this new Robin as possible. So didn't get Robin, but we got air, so definitely still worth it. Definitely worth the 4 orbs. And another thing I forgot to mention, though, real quick, on the trailer, I was like, when I first saw Robin, I was like, ooh, big win for Robin fans. She finally has a main pool version. I also thought she was an armored mage at first, but then I realized she was an armored dragon and got a little less excited. But because I was like, oh, we've also got our first armored mage in the main pool. But then I realized that rearmed heroes are not added to the main pool after their banner ends. So that was very disappointing, actually. So not only is Robin not actually an armored mage, she is also not the first female Robin that you can summon at any time. So big sad day for the female Robin fans, but she does look very good. So, I mean, I guess they can't be that upset. All right, we have the Lands Bounty rerun. Nothing that I desperately want here, but I have everyone except Kagero, so I kind of want to go for her, though Myrrh is probably more useful. I do actually still use my Myrrh sometimes. Don't have a huge preference. Neither of them have particularly standout fodder at this point either anyway. None of them do. Bold Fighter, got lots of copies of that. The Bottled Juice is actually funny, though, because I could put that on someone as a meme weapon at least, even if it's not super useful. But yeah, don't have anyone that I desperately need. Although, something worth noting about Green is, and I'm actually surprised about this, I didn't think he would be here because he is a demote, but I guess direct demotes function a little differently, is that we come down here and we look at the 3/4s, and there's Rickon. We could actually get Rickon as a pull if we go green now. I guess direct demotes are different, but I think I'm still kind of leaning towards I'll go Kagero, I guess. But anyway, sorry if I'm a little... Oh, didn't have the choice anyway. Sorry if I'm a little tired. I got my booster shot yesterday, and I don't know why, like, no other shot affects me, but the booster shots, they really mess me up. I uploaded my Wanderlust Wishes, and then I got super tired, and I dozed off, and then when I woke up to record this, it felt like someone kicked me down a flight of stairs, so I am not feeling great right now. And that is not the Rickon boy that we were hoping for. More than the Kagero, honestly. I was hoping for Rickon, even though it was very slim chance. It is a green demote that's name starts with R, but you are not the windy mage boy that I want. Thank you. For heroes with Luna, we've got a pretty solid banner. All three of the units are pretty good. Deke has Close Def, Null Follow-Up, and Threat and Attack Def 3. And then Malice has Attack Speed Push and Spurn, and Galzus has Null Follow-Up and Surge Sparrow. Gonna go red, but green definitely wouldn't be bad either. Sweet, we got a lot of reds actually if we really wanted to pull, but I already have extra copies of both these units, so I don't really need them. Oh, and instead we got a Kamui. Not super helpful, but what did you have again? Oh, and he has plus speed, so that's interesting. Attack Def, Oath, and Speed Def Ideal. Yeah, not super helpful, but that is new-ish. And also he had Luna, so he kind of fit the banner. For the Trick or Defeat rerun, I'm only missing Jacob, so I guess we'll go colorless. Cool, we got one. Not desperate to have him. I really wanted him back in year 1, but at this point, don't really need him. I've got plenty of other armors. And I even have a plus 10 armored bow, so instead we just got Rebecca. Certainly less useful, but will probably be used about as much as Jacob would have been anyway. Weekly Revival 60 and 24. The fact that there are 60 of these just still kind of blows my mind. But for this one, probably going to go for Eleonora since I don't have her. Not that her fodder is especially great, but I'd probably just keep her. And then Marita is not a bad backup by any means. Close Call and Attack Speed solo for chain foddering. Pretty good. And then on this one, we'll just go for Hector since I've got everyone here. And extra DC wouldn't be bad to have. We got one green, so we'll just pull that. More than that, I'd really like a Rickon to get us started on our plus 10 journey. No, Barter, you're not the demote that I'm looking for. Get out of here. Ah. With that said, not even Rickon makes me want to pull green for Memori. I've got that Memori, and I think I just recently got her to level 40. I just waited on it for a long time because I just didn't feel like it. She is not an interesting unit for me to build. And on this one, we do not have Eleanor, we just got Jacob. That's fine. A lot of our other summons this month have been really cracked, so not too torn up about not getting anything on these two banners. This month's Double Special Heroes banner is looking pretty solid overall. We have a nice selection of seasonal units. On red this time around, we've got Duo Ike with Distant Dart and Joint Drive Attack. Also Null Sea Disrupt, though. I feel like you're just going to get Mystic Boost if you really want Null Sea Disrupt. Very strong looking unit, and then he is joined by Nyla, who has Sturdy Surge and Lull Speed Def. Then we have Roy on green, very strong unit, having used him to grind up his hero merit before foddering him to Sethith. He's quite a strong lad, wouldn't mind having him back, honestly. And he also has Sturdy Surge and also Flow Force, which would be pretty nifty fodder for Papa Gerald, although Flow Force isn't quite as useful for him because it nullifies penalties to attack speed, and he doesn't care that much about his speed. His speed isn't terrible, but it's not anything worth preserving by any means. But getting that as a throw-in with Sturdy Surge wouldn't be bad by any means. And similarly, Chris could also probably use both these skills, so honestly, having like 3 copies of him would be pretty nice. That is quite a lot to ask off of one free summon, though, so I don't think that's going to happen. And then he is joined by Maria, Rally Speed Def, just dual rally fodder. Not the most enticing one, not the best combination, but dual rally is dual rally. And then she's got Flow Flight, which I'm not reading all that. Good for you. And Attack Def Push 4, not bad. Not the most amazing fodder, though. She is a pretty scary unit if you build her up. She has stomped me a few times on like summoner duels and stuff. And then for colorless, we have Young Soren with Mirror Impact and Times Pulse. Not bad fodder, but not as rare as it used to be. But still a solid looking unit. And then Freya, similarly solid looking unit, attack speed solo 4, and Fatal Smoke makes her slightly more interesting, I think, in terms of fodder, but still not anything that I need right now. And then finally on blue, we have Summer Claude, still absolutely bonkers, and I 100% do not regret investing in him. I was actually just using him in Aether raids, and he can really shut down a lot of enemies with Fallen Star's gravity for hit and run stuff. Just a super nutty unit. If you're like on the fence about him, I really suggest getting him. I think even as a one-off copy, he'd probably be really good. And if you need ideas on how to build him, you can check out my video. Wow, Brandon actually plugging his stuff for once, that's rare. For fodder, he's also got Speed Def Rain, pretty great C slot. I still love Rain skills, though the fact that his other skills taken by Fallen Star means he's not the best in terms of fodder, but he is a fantastic unit. And then he is joined by Owain, who is also a demote, and has Blue Flame and Piercing Tribute. Pretty nifty looking spear, and Blue Flame gives you arena score, so it's not bad either. And also he's just got good art. Looks cool. His fodder is very not great, but the Lance and Blue Flame are both pretty cool. So getting him as a throw-in with Claude, definitely not bad. But with that said, I think I'm going to lean green, and then red if there's no green, and then I guess colorless. I don't really need more Claudes is the thing. I like him, and he was definitely worth getting, but I definitely don't need more copies. So there's no green, sadly, so we'll just take this one red. I was even considering if there were multiple greens, I was considering pulling. any of them. Oh wow, we got the Roy anyway. Who would have thought? Not quite the Roy I was hoping to see today, but you know. For Happy and Constance's battle, all pretty good units, but don't need more Yuris because I don't want to merge him because it'll mess up his HP threshold. We have Happy with AR Far Trace and Attack Res Catch, and her special tome actually kills beasts and dragons, which is pretty nifty. And then Constance has the weird wave effect where it's like odd even turns, very annoying, hate those things, but she is a solid unit and she has AS Push, AS Far Trace, and Speed Res Rain and Harsh Command, so she's kind of loaded out with fodder. I think Constance is the better pull for fodder, but I think I'd rather pull blue for Happy, so that's what we're gonna go for. Yeah, we got one blue. We could pull that green and try and get Balthy. the pro strats that they didn't expect us to use. Instead we got Ileana. Not super helpful, but whatever. Not that desperate for anything on this banner. Not the Bound Hero banner that I was hoping to see this time around, unfortunately. And I was originally going to do this as a free summon video, and I was doing the intro, but then I realized that Arthur is actually really good fodder for Rickon, who of course is one of our future plus 10 projects. And he has attack speed ideal, speed res menace, and Grand Vulture. And all of those would be pretty good for Rickon. And you can get Grand Vulture and Attack Speed Ideal at the same time, because Attack Speed Ideal is on Muriel, I'm pretty sure. And you can also get Grand Vulture with it. The one problem is Speed Res Menace. You need Threat and Speed Res, which I don't think anyone else has at the moment. But we might see that on a Grand Hero Battle unit or someone before I actually get all 11 copies of Rickon that I need, so it's very possible that by then that we'd be able to inherit all of these skills at once. So I'm kind of willing to pour a few orbs into trying to get Arthur here. And he's joined with Luis, who is also really solid. Attack Speed Ideal 4, Rally Def Res, and Rainbow, all solid. And Hugh, who has Speed Def Ideal, which is kind of not super in demand that I can think of. I can't think of anyone who desperately needs that. And then Rouse Attack Speed is pretty good though, so he still has some good fodder. But yeah, so I'm thinking of spending some orbs trying to get Arthur, Luis's backup. Don't think I want to go too deep in on this though. But it could be good for Rickon. Oh, well, not Arthur, but we got Deke instead. Do I want to keep pulling though? I'm not sure if that's the direction I want to take Rickon, so maybe I should just save. I'll at least wait until we see the Mythic banner for this month, but not a bad pull. Not a bad freebie by any means. For this month's Voting Gauntlet banner, we have the Loyalty League, which is actually a kind of cool theme for a Voting Gauntlet for some characters that don't get as much spotlight. We have characters that more kind of play support to the lords and the bigger named characters. We got Hubert, Selena, August, Tanith, and this guy, Kent. Yeah, I thought it was Kent, but I couldn't remember. And Wolf. A lot of pretty good picks here. Some pretty good fodder. There are some duds here. Hubert is not great. Tanith and Kent aren't amazing, but the others are pretty alright. But with that said, my man Dedu was absolutely shafted. He should 100% be here. but alas. So for this one, we're going to go for August since he's the only one we're missing. And on this one, Wolf, so colorless on both. Backup would be Selena for this one, and then red is our third pick, and then red on this one. So just going to try and grab a colorless both times. Oh, almost tempted to pull that green just because that's more interesting to me, but we'll try for the Selena, I suppose. Nope, just a Claire. Claire, you don't have anything good for me. You have no fodder. Begone. And on this one, we'll try for Wolf. Oh, you know, I really don't want either a 5-star Kent or a Tanith, honestly. I'm just going to pull the green. I don't even care. There's nothing on red that I want there. Frederick. Yeah, that's about as exciting as either of the reds would have been. So, I'm okay with it. For weekly revivals, 40 and 25. I have Cliff and Loki, so we'll go for Surtur. Cliff is backup just because I want to pull blue, but any of them would be acceptable. And then for 25, we have Saber, Sonya, and Lind. I think I'm still missing Lind, so we'll probably go for her, though Sonya is the one that I would use more, so wouldn't mind her as the backup. So this one we'll try for green. Got one, perfect. Surtur would be good just for babysitting units, especially in like heroic ordeals. Though I've got like Forest with Pain Plus who can do that pretty well, so definitely not worth throwing orbs at. Instead, we'll just take this Wrath and bounce. And then on this one, go for, well, there's no blue, so we will pop this green, hope for a Sonya, hope for a Rickon, or something else exciting. And instead, it's just Atlas. That's not exciting. I forget, what did you have? He had something. Oh yeah, Earth Boost. Yeah, that's why I don't remember what he has. Finally, to end the month, we have this very meh looking banner. Nothing here really stands out as super exciting or interesting to me. Plumeria, Mirabilis, and Leaf on red is especially kind of cursed. Like, they're all pretty old mythics at this point. If you really want these three, that is pretty cool, but I'm only missing Mirabilis, and I really don't need more Plumerias or Leafs, so not that helpful. Plumeria does have Res Rain, though, which is kind of cool, and Leaf has Time's Pulse, which is not nearly as in demand as it used to be. It's on a fair number of characters, but it is still a pretty solid skill, so it's not the worst batch of reds, but it's certainly not as exciting as some of the new units. And then Fortress Defres, it's not the most exciting A slot by today's standards. Blue has Crom, who is still fantastic unit, still terrifying, but you know, he's like 2 years old at this point. Est, oh, she has attack res push too, just like Plumeria. Interesting. She's a pretty good unit, but like normal pool. Sane, pretty good unit, but normal pool. Oh, he's got flow refresh. That's actually kind of cool. Eitri, pretty nifty. And then Otur, I do like Otur. I know a lot of people thought that Otur's banner was like the biggest easy skip banner of all time, but I really wanted him, so I was excited for his banner, and I think that this banner is the Otur banner for me personally. Letizia, she's pretty scary, but again, normal pool. And her fodder is all cool, but she kind of has the same problem with like Plumeria and Est, where like these attack res boosting skills aren't as exciting for most units as like attack speed boosting skills. Asker, pretty nifty, and Saint Ermine, pretty cool. Still really like her. I use her on my Astra season all the time now. And then, yeah, this one. Again, they're really trying to push like attack res boost skills on this banner, but I usually don't have a ton of use for those, especially on the A slot. Attack res tempo could be cool for like Morgan, but I think I'd still prefer like speed res tempo. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna pull a green, try and get Etri or Leticia. Oter wouldn't be bad either. I could merge or give like flow refresh to like Sedith or Geralt or something. So yeah, we'll just try and pull a green. Oh, lots of greens. I don't need it that badly that I need to spend orbs, but what do we end the month with? A racing. No, not the most exciting end of the month, but I cannot complain. This was a very stacked month. We had a lot of great pulls, a lot of 5 stars. A lot of these banners treated us pretty well, so I definitely cannot complain. And I think we only spent like 4 orbs on accident. Oops. But yes, Halloween came early and it came constant throughout the month. We got a lot of nifty treats, so that is super exciting. So thank you guys, as always, so much for joining me for another round of FEH Freebies. Best of luck to you guys on all your summons, whether they be free or otherwise, whether they be on any of these current banners or the upcoming ones, except this one. I don't wish you any luck on this one. And until next time, this is Hoodie Angel Brandon, signing out.